Alright guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a review on the Infiniti G35, kind of going over my thoughts and opinions on it. If you are in the process or are looking for one, do check out my last two videos going over the 5 reasons to buy one and some things to know before you buy a G35. There are some common problems with them, just be aware. These headlights will be yellow. Just know that. There are some sweet headlights though that I kind of want for this car. They're like 400 bucks, but they're LED. They're so cool. But anyways, yes, this car has 2 different wheels. I already know. One thing I do like about the G35 is I like the look a little bit better than a 350Z. Where I think the 350Z falls short is in the rear end of the car. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like these taillights a lot better. So that is why I picked a G35, as well as it has a longer wheelbase. So it's a lot more stable when you're going faster. Compared to where a 350Z has a shorter wheelbase and it's more agile. Huge reason I bought the car is purely looks. I could not get over the rear end of a 350Z. I looked at body kits and everything. I just couldn't. Another thing to note, if you are looking at a G35, paint on these cars I've heard is pretty bad. I don't know if this one was just neglected, which it was for a little bit, so that could be another reason, but do take a look at that while you're getting one. Paint does come off these cars pretty badly. And again, these are some things that I go over in those other videos, so please do take a look at those. But yeah, that's kind of exterior wise everything. Let me pop the hood so that you guys can get a look at what's under the hood of these vehicles. Alright, so this is the VQ35. It has a notorious issue for burning oil or leaking oil, which is why you see oil everywhere. Because you do have to fill these cars with oil. It's gonna happen. Just be aware of that. This engine has been very stout. I have not had too many issues with it. The only issues I've had is because somebody before this neglected the car and it was poor maintenance problems. So it was nothing engine related or transmission related. It was just, I should have done more research about the actual person selling this car and figuring out why there was problems with it. That was on me. I avoided those red flags and bought the car anyways. So do make sure that when you ask the right questions when you're trying to buy a car. I asked the questions, but I got pretty poor responses and I knew there was issues with this car, but I just didn't want to go to Wisconsin to get the other one that I was looking at. This engine, you will know, has a lot on the forums about it, so you shouldn't have an issue that you can't solve. It would be very rare. Parts are very readily accessible. Should have no problem getting a part for these cars, as 350Zs, you can get anything for them. Same engine, shouldn't have an issue. But let me put the hood down and let's go for a drive. Or actually, let's go into the interior and I'll show you around that. So in the interior of this car, the G35 I feel does a little bit better. You've got leather seats. I'm not a huge leather person, but they do look nice. Heated and electric seats. You do have a rear seat in the G35, which does pull down if you need more space for the trunk. All it is a lever right back there. You pull it and the whole thing will drop down. You'll have a navigation system here. Mine does not work, but it does have a DVD system right there for the navigation system. Mine just does not work. Also, the radios in these cars commonly go out, so you will probably have to replace yours, and or it has already been replaced. I have the manual transmission. I love it. It's so much fun in this car. You could go either way. And then you've got your power windows, you know, just the normal stuff. But really, that is all for the exterior and interior. Oh yeah, and it has a sunroof up here. Pretty fun, but it's a fun car. So that is all for the interior and exterior. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna hop in the car and go for a drive, and I'll show you guys how it performs. This part of the video, I want to go over the drivability of this car, how it feels, how it performs. So with this car, what I really do love about it is that it is peppy for a V6. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it is peppy, and that's really what I wanted out of this car. I originally wanted it to be an autocross car, and honestly, like you can see, it's really nice around the corners. It handles them very well. You don't feel like you're out of control. You feel really well planted, and I don't know what this person's doing. So that's a great aspect about this car. You'll notice if you ever pick one up, the cornering in this car is super nice, and you feel very secure as far as you don't feel any sort of... You'll notice it if you ever pick one up that you will love how it corners and handles. In a straight line, this car is fun as well. It is peppy enough to where in a straight line it's not like you're bored, as well as it comes in manual, so that makes it even more fun in a straight line compared to an automatic. But other than that, it's not the best car for winter. The traction control system is very finicky, so you're going to find it a little bit irritating to drive in the winter, to be honest. I did drive it in the winter. It wasn't the most pleasant experience, but it's not like you cannot get around. But yeah, that's the overall thoughts and feelings of driving this car. It's not underwhelming driving this car, but it's not overwhelming either. It's a great car to learn how to drive stick on, and or learn how to do autocross and learn how to take corners and all that. So that's really why I bought this car. I wanted a car that I could grow into, I guess, and learn before I just went and bought a more expensive car and didn't know really how to handle it. Being that I've never personally had my own car with a manual trans, and that was kind of like a sportier car. But yeah, that's about it for this review. I can't say too many bad things about this car. It's got 172,000 miles on it, and it still runs pretty well. Besides the issues that the previous owner left me, but that was because of just poor, lackluster maintenance. That has nothing to do with the actual car. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that like button. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button, and please leave down below what your thoughts on this vehicle are, if you've ever owned one or if you're trying to get one. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.